How's it going, you guys? Woke up this morning, delivered my load for yesterday, and then shot over to Chicago and ended up picking up oil. Headed over to Ottawa Lake, or Ottawa, Ohio. Ottawa Lake or something like that. Heading to Ottawa. Got about 167 miles to go. But as promised, said I'd do a video about a little bit about being out here on the road and stuff. I haven't been out here that long, but the information and stuff that I know is easily passed along, and I feel that drivers just coming into the trucking world can benefit from some of the information, some of the extra stuff that they can learn. Talked to a lot of truck drivers over the years before I even got my CDL, so I knew a little bit of information and stuff going into the job on what to expect. It's not an easy job, that I can tell you, but at the same time it is an easy job. For those of you guys, coming out here on the road or prospecting, getting your CDL, it's not a bad job. It's all of what you make out of it. So for those looking to get their CDL, those you guys and gals that don't know how to get your CDL, there's actually a few ways of going about it. I went to school. I did 3 weeks of schooling. I'm paying out of pocket for my CDL classes. If I would have paid cash for it, it was like $4,000. Because I financed it, it was roughly around almost $8,000 with interest and stuff like that. There's a couple of ways to go about getting your CDL. Not everybody goes about it the same way. You can either go to school, which is what I did. Pay the money for a 3-week course. You can sign on with a place such as Roadmaster or I know CR England. There's a few companies out there that they'll provide you with the training and stuff as long as you work for them for so long. So Roadmaster is they try to find somebody to finance or hook you up finance-wise for the classes, and then they contact all these different trucking companies and give them all your information and stuff to help place you in a job. I remember I talked to Roadmaster and they wanted me to come up with $1,000 down, which I didn't have. And then I would have went there for I want to say 3 weeks with them as well, 3 or 4 weeks with them. They were going to house me and stuff like that, and teach me everything that I needed to know, and then they were going to contact these trucking companies for job placement. They were going to contact these recruiters or something, I guess. So that was one option. The other option is study your book, go do the written test, get your physical and stuff done, get your medical card, get your permit, and then go rent a truck and take the test. That's out of pocket. It's cheaper. You can either rent a truck or you can borrow a truck for somebody if you need, from somebody if you need to. And then the other way is to sign on with the company lot of ups and downs about doing that. I wouldn't recommend it. It's just not, doesn't sound like the best of ways to go. For some of those larger companies, they'll require at least 2 years worth of driving for them. From drivers that I've talked to that have done that, they regret it a lot because they were wasting 2 years of their life of a company that doesn't pay them very well. But no matter what you do when it comes to getting your CDL, whether or not you have your CDL, you're still going to have the experience in order to get into better companies. You have to start somewhere. So if you go my route and you get your CDL, you do your 3 weeks, you test out, get your CDL, and you go with the company. Now, I only have experience with 2 other companies besides this one. One of the companies, I traveled about 1,000 miles to go for orientation with them. There was like 53 or 56 people in orientation. When I was there, they told me that this is a selection process. I waited 2.5 weeks for a trainer, and I was going to go out for 7 weeks. Now, not all companies are like this. Not all companies are terrible. They're not all like that. The sad hard truth is we all know that there are companies out there. But no matter what company you go to, it doesn't matter if you're with them for 10 years, or 50 years, or however long you're with them for. At some point in time, any company that you go to, at some point in time, you are either going to feel, or they will, screw you over. At one point in time, at least, for driving for them. And most of the time, you're just going to feel as if they're screwing you over and they're jerking you around. And in actuality, they're not. They're just doing their job, trying to get loads and get you loads and make money themselves. But it's a business. It's just how business works. You'll feel real inferior and stuff a lot of times. But this job, if you're looking for a job that you need a pat on the back every once in a while or a pat on the back every day, that's not going to happen. You come out here on the road, you do your job, you get paid, and it's done and over with, Every day, every week, whatever you got to do. But for those of you that are getting their CDL and coming out here on the road, just thinking about coming out here on the road. No matter what company you go to, and it's just going to happen. At some point in time, they're gonna make you feel as if you are nobody. And regardless of what company it is, the larger companies, they're like that. You're just a number to them. You have to understand going into it that you are just a number going into it. You're just a number to them. You can't expect them to treat you extremely personal all the time. It would be nice, but it doesn't work that way. So the first company that I dealt with, I ended up leaving the first 2 weeks, never even went out with a trainer. Left for a better opportunity to come back home and actually work for a company up here. And it worked out in my favor. There was 4 people in orientation. I went out for 2 weeks with my trainer and then got into my truck and was on my way. Not everybody's like that, but that's something to look for. There's some of those companies that are out there. The last company that I was with, roughly around 250 drivers or so, 200 drivers. But they were very personable with you. They were very, very family oriented. They were very close knit, family-like company. It was great. But there are companies like that out there. You just have to look for them. I know a lot of people, you know, they get mad about going and working for these larger companies like Warner or Snyder, or Stevens Transport, or Boyd, Swift, CRST. All of these companies, you know, they get a really bad rep, but at the same time, you have to understand that there's thousands and thousands of drivers that work for them. Okay. My last company had 4 dispatchers. Those kind of companies, they have hundreds of dispatchers for your region, for your state, for everything. They have tons of dispatchers. And from what I'm told, sometimes I guess, or you'll deal with the same dispatcher on a regular basis, but maybe that dispatcher is 1 out of 50, you know? And then he or she has probably got, you know, 150 drivers, 200 drivers, or whatever, that they have to try and remember who the heck they are, and they're not going to. I don't know exactly how the larger companies work, just from what I was told about them, and from what a little bit that I experienced when I went to the very first company. Now, the first company I went to, the reasoning that I went to them was they had benefits. They had great benefits. They had a lease program. It was, not a lease to own, but just a lease program, lease agreement, that you were pretty much an owner-operator. You leased a truck, and then you traded it in for a newer one after so long. Had it for like 2 years or something of that sort. That was one of the reasons why I went there, because I always wanted to be an owner-operator, or independent contractor, I guess that's what they're called now. That, and they paid for my school 100%. They were going to pay for my school 100%. And it's different than, say, if you were to sign on with a company and you sign an agreement with them that you have to stay with them for 2 years, or otherwise you have to pay them back the money for the classes, for the course. The company that I went to, I was paying out of pocket for my company unless they paid for it. And what they would do is they would pay 100% of it if I would have stayed with them for 1 year, for exactly 1 year. No quits, no rehires, nothing like that. If I would have stayed with them for 1 year, they would have paid off my school tuition in full. Which I thought, hey man, that's awesome. There's some other companies out there that they would pay, you know, like $100 or something a month, or they'd pay 95% of the monthly payment, and you had to pay the other percentage. Some companies, they'll pay 100% of it. Some of them will pay 100%, but take 50% of your paycheck or whatever. That's from what I hear. So that was one of the reasons why I went to the first company. The second company was for money-wise. But they also paid for your medical, your dental, and your vision. You didn't pay for any of your insurance. And then, of course, I landed a dedicated route, hauling steel, making about $1,000 a week, which was great money. I was right out of school, but you can't expect that. You really can't. I got lucky, fell into that position to drive for them. It only lasted about 7 months, and then the dedicated route was done and over with. So every once in a while you do get snag a deal like that. So you got to keep your eyes out for those things. That's why it's kind of hard if you were to go to a company and get trained by them and then sign a contract that you have to be there for 2 years. It makes it very difficult for you to search for another job without having repercussions against you. So, and I know, you know, a lot of my friends and stuff ask me, you know, well, how'd you do it, and this, that, and the other. And in all honesty, I got lucky. I was working 3 jobs just before I met my girlfriend, and broke it down to one. I told her about my plans, and she helped me achieve my goal of getting my CDL. I had support. You have to have some kind of a support system in order for it to work out very well for you. Otherwise, you end up at those companies where you're signing a 2-year contract stating that you'll have to work for them for 2 years or pay some money down. But if that's what you have to do in order to get out here and do your job, do the job that you want to do, and you do what you have to do in order to get the job. Legally, of course. I literally wanted to be a truck driver so bad I quit my job over an argument on whether or not I could strap product down for one of the truck drivers that come in, because I used to work at a galvanizing plant, and I worked in the shipping department, and I got into an argument with a supervisor and some blue hat, some guy that I guess worked there for a year or two, left for a year, and then came back. And then he automatically thought that he knew more than I did. I had like three steel beams on the trailer. They're probably about 38 foot long, and they weren't that heavy. Combined, they had to weigh maybe 12,000 pounds or so. And I threw like 10 straps on this just to pull it outside. And this supervisor, my supervisor, at that. And this guy tried to argue with me, you can't strap down the loads. If the truck driver leaves and it falls off his trailer, then we're held liable. And granted, like I said, I'd been talking to truck drivers for a long time on getting my CDL. And I used to talk to the truck drivers that used to come in there all the time and pick up loads. I used to ask them all sorts of questions. And I read everything that I could try and find on how to get your CDL, how much it was going to cost. I read the whole CDL handbook, the whole driver handbook. I knew it front to back. It's just, you know. So I started delving into the laws and everything like that. Well, as a flatbedder, law states that a truck driver must check their load before leaving a shipper or receiver, and that load has to be secured by that truck driver. You know, they have to check it to make sure that it's proper to go down the road. If anything happens when they're out on the road, the only person that's reliable for anything is that truck driver or the company. The company can be held liable for it as well. But it's a truck driver's job, in order to make sure that his load or her load is completely secure before leaving their shipper or receiver. If anything happens, so I argued with them for a good 20 minutes, and I said, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to get my CDL. I told them, you guys can keep the job, I'm over it, don't argue with me, I'm going to go get my CDL, and I'll show you. Well, here I am today, so wonder who was right on that one. But I love it when I stick it to somebody, you know. Try to argue with me, and I know for a fact that I'm right. Just remember, you know, you guys, you want to get your CDL, go get your CDL. There's a few different ways to obtain your CDL. either by working for a company that offers to give out CDLs, work for a company that you have a contract on for 2 years, or sign an agreement with them that you'll stay with them for 2 years, or pay back the amount that be owed for a class, or just go rent your own truck, do your book work. Well, you guys can do it. You can achieve it if you try. If you want it bad enough, you'll get it. And then there's a few select people out there that, you know, somebody pays for their CDL and stuff. Well, that's lucky them. Welcome to the road. But no matter what, you're going to deal with bad companies. You're going to go through a few companies before you find the right one, generally. You might get lucky and absolutely find the company of your dreams to begin with. And good for you. I mean, that's great. It's wonderful. It's like my friend Steven. We started at our companies roughly around the same time. He started his company just a little bit before I did. He actually graduated out of school like 2 weeks before I did. We've actually gotten to run into him once out here on the road. Another one of my friends, Justin, we ran into each other. Just so happened I was on my way up to my town that I live in. Truck was broke down, so I was bringing it up to the shop, and he just so happened to be on the toll road coming by. He had to stop. He was planning on stopping and taking his lunch break anyway, but so happened to be there at the same time. You know, hung out for a little bit there. My friend Steven, I remember, he used to love going to work. I love my job, I love my job, I love my job. And then it switched. Man, I'm so tired of this job, so done and over with it. And then it switched back recently. Or switched to differently. He loves his job, he hates staying in one spot. You're going to get tired of it, especially if you're constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again. You're going to get bored with it. You're going to hate it. No matter whatever company you go to, you're bound and determined to run into a few issues. The first few companies, don't let it discourage you. There's so many companies out there. So many companies out there. As long as you go about it the right way, if you're going to leave a company, give them your 2 weeks. Do not ever abandon the truck. Abandoning your truck is one of the worst things you could ever possibly do. Because that will stick with you forever. Especially if you want to go work for a good company. Like, say if I were to have abandoned my last truck, not given my 2 weeks, and just left my truck somewhere without like returning it or anything and letting them know where it was, even leaving it in a non-designated area that they tell you to drop the truck off at. If I were to even tell them, hey, yeah, I dropped the truck off here, my stuff's all cleaned out, go get it. If I would have done that, there is no way I wouldn't have got into this company. There is no way that the owner would be selling me a truck. He'd be dumb to. If somebody like that were to show up and be like, hey, you know, I want a job, and then they get the job, and all of a sudden, all of a sudden you get the job and you're selling them a truck, and then that person just doesn't call you back, and you finally get a hold of them, and oh yeah, you know, we live in Indiana. The guy's like, yeah, your truck's in Canada, somewhere there, and it's in Alaska. I drove it over the ice highway, and you have to wait until wintertime freezes the road again so you can go get it. You know? But yeah, don't ever abandon your truck. It's one of the worst things that you can do as a truck driver. It'll stick with you for the rest of your life. So I mean, this is just a little bit of an informative video, kind of, you know, just a little bit about what we do out here, you know, how to get out here, what to do a little bit, what not to do. I guarantee it, you're gonna, at some point in time, you're gonna hate your company that you're with. They're gonna make you mad, they're gonna aggravate you, and they're gonna ask you to do things that you don't want to do. You don't have to do it. You have to do things to an extent. When it turns into being unsafe, there's no load out here ever worth your life. Now, there are companies out there that, yes, they do things that are not supposed to happen, but not every company's like that. Those companies are just bad companies. It's unfortunate that there are companies out there still like that. There are companies out there like that. My company, I get ample amount of time to go places, and just how it is.